Hey guys, Support here, back in with another action figure review, and today we'll be wrapping up our looks at the Street Sharks 30th Anniversary Collection with, you guessed it, good old Streax. Not to be confused with what happens in your underwear when you got diarrhea, cha-cha-cha. No, this is Streax with an X, not a KS. Get it right. That said, he is a Tiger Shack, as brought to us by the fine folks over at Mattel, as well as today's sponsor, Tony's Nuts. And despite the fact that the spooky season is over, you can click the link in the description below, use discount code OVERLORD to save 10% at checkout, and get yourself a bag of pumpkin spiced nuts. Try it. They're great. I promise. So, with that being said, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all Streax has to offer in terms of accessories, because he does have a couple. Holy crap, he's got a couple of hands. I feel like hands are just standard nowadays. Should they even count as accessories? But he's got crazy Freddy Krueger hands, so that's kind of neat. Right down to the gnarly looking like fingerless glove there. But yeah, I like these. These are pretty rad. I tend to display him with these. And that's your lot. So taking a closer look at our Shark Man of the Hour, Streax. I will say one unfortunate thing that is, well, prevalent with not just my figure, but others, is that Mattel pulled a Charlie Brown. Now, what do I mean by that, you might ask? I mean, like in the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown special, where Charlie Brown clearly has trouble with the scissors when he makes his ghost costume. Well, Mattel did that with the glue, when they glued his teeth in. There's a little bit of glue on his mouth up here, this crevice of his cheek, and there was a crap load over here, but thankfully I kind of chipped some off with my nail, and probably chipped half of my nails in the process, and then used a nail file to get in there and clean it up a little more. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. There even appears to be some on his gills up here, so not the best QC as far as that goes, but rest assured my Streax's chomping action works just fine. He can open his mouth wide, and I don't gotta worry about anything getting damaged. So there you go. I will say, I think the glue was kind of preventing him from doing that. So it's a good thing I went in there and cleaned some of it up, at least some of the excess. But yeah, he does have the chomping action, and as far as articulation goes, his shoulders can pop out to the side pretty far. He can pop back down, rotate forward and back. He also has a single jointed elbow, which doesn't want to bend. What? Oh, that's because it's out here, stupid. And turn his arm. There we go. Yeah, there. I knew something was funky with that arm. Wasn't turned in all the way. Like the other side. He does have swivel hinge wrists, which I guess I'll show you this now. You just pop the hand off, like so. I know I'm doing this all behind camera, but again, with this soft rubber being a thing, which I really wish they didn't do. I wish they were just hard plastic. I would have took a big ugly hinge in the mouth over that, to be honest with you. But he does have his claws on that side. Give it to him on this side too. I will say the right side's a little easier to pop out than the left. But rest assured, you don't exactly need heat to pop these hands in and out. You just need a little bit of patience Tiny bit of elbow grease, maybe. But there you go. There he is with his claws. Looking pretty fierce. Again, very Freddy Krueger looking. I'm sure my aunt would love that. I'm kidding. She hates that bastard. He does have a waist twist. He's got the drop-down hips. Thankfully, they ain't frozen. Does have forward and back in the hip, as well as out. Single jointed knee. And a swivel at the knee. I don't know why Paranoids are so tight. Slamu's and this guy not really having that problem. And then he doesn't have anything in the feet, which kind of sucks. I know he's got the skates, and they are actually wheels, so he will roll on the floor, which is pretty cool. But, I don't know. I would have rather had ankle articulation. Just to get him into different poses, but he stands fine. I think the skates actually help him out quite a bit, but that is Streax in a nutshell. Looking like a cool little tiger shark man. For what that's worth, I guess. So, with that being said, I think it is time now that we move right along and take a look. I can get him centered here. At some size comparisons. With his Street Shark brethren. Aha! Almost forgot that part, didn't I? First up, and as promised, here's good old Streax, alongside the rest of his Street Shark brethren. We have Ripster, Jab, and the biggest Slamu. I think they look great together. Streax being the smallest. Ripster and Jab being close to the same size, but I think Ripster is a little bulkier than Jab. Jab is probably the tallest because of that hammerhead of his. And then Slamu is the biggest all around because, well, he's a freaking meatball of a figure. Let's face it. Not here are the two villains from this line, Slash and Paranoid, which I can't help but think of the Black Sabbath song Paranoid when I say that guy's name. So Street Sharks make me sad for two reasons. A, they remind me of the late great Ozzy Osbourne, R.I.P. And this line is pretty much straight up canceled. So, yeah, that's two reasons these guys are douchebags. But at any rate, these guys at least scale good together, so there's that. Yeah. Also, my Slamu doesn't seem to click as much as he used to when I first got him, so I don't know what happened there. I guess maybe he adjusted to the elements, but whatever, I'll take it. So I'm getting him out of the way first. Then Jab. I have to say, wave one of these was a little cleaner as far as like messy glue goes. I didn't notice that on any of these or my Slamu. I double checked as I got him out here. Now we're gonna center good old Streax. It's a little easier to do because he's got little roller skates that help him move around on the review set. But he's pretty much as centered as he's gonna get. So we can bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legions, Brother Mandibilith. Wow, I have a lot of space. And the infamous of the Spawn, as usual, towers over everyone. So, with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from somebody pulling a effing Charlie Brown and getting glue all over poor Streax here, yeah, this is another solid addition to the Street Sharks line, which has been a road this channel has been on, hasn't it? I have to say, the second wave has been littered with issues. The Slamu having a stuck ankle joint, along with the clicky arm action, as well as Dr. Paranoid having stuck knee swivels, as well as a super tight shoulder hinge on mine at least. Then Streax here, not having any joint issues per se, but having that glue globbed all over his face and even a little bit on his gills, to the point where it's a little too difficult to clean off without potentially damaging the figure. Like I said, I did as much as I could without damaging it, and according to others, it looks okay, so I'm just gonna leave it there. Yeah, this wave could have been a lot better, and I can't help but feel that on top of that, and the fact that we haven't heard jack diddly or a squat from Mattel about a potential wave 3 of these, that this line is dead in the water. Get it? Because they're sharks. Which sucks, because we never got Slobster, Moby Lick, the Manta Ray guy, Rox, the heavy metal shark, Killamari, the crazy looking eel with the giant sex doll mouth, amidst other characters I'm sure they could have made in this line, because, well, let's face it, the old ones, for being giant heavy duty bath/dog toys, still go for a crap ton of money on the secondary market because, well, people are stupid, I guess. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.